Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. We are here with another exciting AMS session. Today, we welcome back to the VCTV team of Biometric Financial or BIOFI Project. Before moving, just let me tell you one thing that everything discussed here it's not a financial advice. So please do your own research as well. And so joining us with our Chris and Stefan. So please, hey Chris, hey Stefan, how are you?
Hey
guys.
thank you for having us back. God, we love coming on to this. This is a great channel with a great community. So thank you for having us back. Thanks to the community for watching again. We are from the BIOFI Project, Biometric Financial. I am one of the co-founders and COO. Love talking to this audience, and I think we have a lot of good questions today. I think we're going to cover a lot of good topics, including the rewards or staking program coming up for the LATOKEN audience. So great to be back. Stephen, I'll pass it to you for a moment and we'll get going.
Yeah, likewise. I'm loving being here. Great audience with LATOKEN as always, and really looking forward to talking about our reward scheme. You know, we're sharing some further information about our project. Yeah, let's get going. I'm really excited for some group questions here.
Perfect. Like our community asks a lot of questions for your project. I mean, they're very excited to get answers of those questions. So I'll not waste the time and let's get it started with the first question to Chris. So the first question is like, what are some of the major projects that you're working today? So over to you, Chris.
Okay. Wow, that's a big one. That's a big question. For those who may not know Biometric Financial, very quickly, our history is coming out of payments and security industries, our founders and advisors. And our history started in delivering biometric authentication solutions about 6 years ago. Fast forward, we've been involved in the technology game for that whole time. And we launched the Biometric Financial Project a year ago, August 20th last year. So we're just over a year old. And what we did is we saw that there was an opportunity to bring additional security and additional authentication strength into the Web3 world. And that's what brought us here. That's one of the main reasons we came to Web3 and launched the BIOFI project. People wanted anonymity and greater security, which our solution allows them to have in this space. So to do that, there's a couple of big projects that we are working on. We're working on some mobile money platforms out of Africa that Stephen is going to talk more about today. I'm sure that he helped bring into the table. And mobile money is big. Mobile money is very big in Africa, and fraud is a big problem in Africa. So we're able to bring our biometric authentication solutions to there to help people who maybe don't make, in the West, we look at money a little bit differently because it's a little more easy to obtain, I guess, or jobs and income. A little bit more difficult in Africa, and every dollar counts. So we need to make sure that we need to help them make sure that people are protected and their money is secure. So that's one.
So my community, whoever is holding the BIOFI, you guys are safe. This is a sign from Chris. Exactly.
It doesn't have to be just BIOFI. It's on their device, that their device is secure from fraud and from imitators, someone trying to impersonate them. As we know and as we've learned, biometric authentication is much more secure than login and password because both can be compromised and stolen, right? We have big projects going on in the education space in our metaverse. Now that's something that's relatively new, and I'm sure we're going to talk more about that now or today, is we have created this metaverse with a couple of main priorities and objectives. The biggest one is probably in the education space. And we are taking online content from one of our providers who does training in the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning space. Does training, one of the biggest trainers in the world for the last 30 years. we're helping them take their training curriculum and bring it into the metaverse. And what that does is creates a hyper-realistic environment where people can actually, where trainees can actually go in and repair something in a virtual scenario before ever going out into the field. Now, that's a big change from reading it and understanding, okay, if this is wrong, here are the diagnosis steps. It's very different from reading that on paper than it is to actually going into this environment and going up to a virtual twin or a machine inside the metaverse and actually conducting a diagnosis and repair on it. It's a very interactive environment and gives them more of a feel of what things are in real life. So those are two of them. There are many projects, but let me pause there. Stephen, if you want to add anything you can, please go ahead.
Yeah, just to add on to what Chris is saying, our solutions are actually live out there. So, from a use case point of view, we have real live customers out there, whether that's in, financial services, whether that's in telecom, whether that's in, new age technology such as drones, if that's also within, new age products such as hemp and, and stuff like that. So there's quite a lot of, real life use cases of where we're actually using all our products, not just one or two products. So everybody would know that we're obviously the BIOFI token that you're seeing trading within here. We're looking at our SayTech product. We're looking at our Uni Safe box. We're looking at our Web3 solution in the Ethos Metaverse, and we're also launching our mobile phones. So from all these bits and pieces put together makes a really huge project. So we've got multiple projects going live daily. We have multiple new projects that we're trying to implement, and we've got a lot of stuff in proof of concept that's ready to roll out. So the next 6, 12, 18 months, there's some really, really cool projects that we're involved in. And our revenues are always going to increase, but also the use cases, most importantly, are coming to us as well. And the great thing is we're not just centralized at one location. We have projects in the US, we've got projects in Africa, Europe, Middle East, Africa, even as far as Australia and New Zealand. So we are global. Our team are global as well. So it's very accessible to get to us, but we're working on some really major projects, and that's where the cool thing is, whether that's securing or educating or or even the entertainment space. So we're spread across quite a lot there. So which is very, very interesting. So it's never boring in BIOFI, that's for sure.
That's the truth.
Perfect. I like how you guys, expanding out the generation. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys are expanding out to the global, and definitely I'm pretty sure that this BIOFI will definitely be live to everyone's, like everybody will tell that. So second question over to you, Stefan. So I would like the community asked, I understand that you're running huge BIOFI staking campaign with LATOKEN. Can you please summarize the campaign?
Yeah, listen, the campaign is very straightforward. Stake and get the rewards. That is to do is to give people rewards and get genuine earnings back out of this. So the key thing here is to sign up, and get into the reward scheme, and that's straightforward and very easy for people. And if people want to make good returns, this is where you got to go into it, and that's why we're offering that to the people here within the investment circle within LATOKEN, and it's very straightforward.
If I could just add to that, that's exactly right. Just to add a little detail to it, if you stake for 3 months, you'll earn an APY of 15%, and if you stake for 6 months, there'll be an APY of 25%. So that's paid out in BIOFI, and just understand that that's the annual rate. So if you're there for 6 months, you get half of what that rate is, but it's paid directly to BIOFI. It's the easiest way to earn more BIOFI over time. It's a great way to do it, and the rewards will be there for simple staking.
That's perfect, Chris. So that actually leads to the question number 4. So how do people in the community join the BIOFI staking campaign?
Well, they can do that through LATOKEN. That's the easiest way to do it. LATOKEN is going to be managing that part of the program. So they just take their BIOFI and can stake it on the LATOKEN platform, and they just choose their time period. Very simple, 3 months or 6.
Okay. So this question is for like Steph and Chris, both of you. So I really like what you guys are doing with Ethos Metaverse. So please, can you tell me like which countries business segment do you see like participating in Ethos Metaverse, and see how BioFi token integrated with the Metaverse?
Okay, I'll jump in first on that.
Yep.
The Ethos Metaverse, by definition, is in the Metaverse, right? It's not located anywhere, so it's available to anyone globally. We have this HVAC project that we've talked about that is going to soon launch, that we've been developing, but the training will be available to anyone globally. The training was designed here in the United States, but it's open to anyone around the world. The entertainment piece that we have out there now that we're building both with our provider partners and on our own is also global, anyone who has access. So you can come into the Ethos Metaverse today. If you have one of our NFTs, our dogs, our doges, you can use that as your avatar to move through the Ethos Metaverse and see what's there as it grows. We're going to be putting training modules in there as well as just exploratory and games. We have an arcade that people can go participate in now, play games. There's a great a zombie game in there, if that's the kind of thing you're into, where you can go in and kill some zombies. There's shuffleboard. There's a few other games in there. There's the crane game, typical arcade game that you can play around with. It's really just to drive engagement, give people something to do. One of the more exciting things that comes out of the Ethos Metaverse is that we've partnered with a third party to take our NFTs and allow them to compete or race against each other, which is really a lot of fun. So you can race and earn AVAX. Very simply, you just sign up for a race. There's races that come in at different price points, from half an AVAX up to 20 AVAX. You choose the one you want to be part of. And when there's enough people in the races are automatically run. They are run with connection to Chainlink's virtual randomness function. So everyone has a chance to win. Doesn't matter if you have a Jack Russell Terrier or a Doberman or a German Shepherd. Everyone's got the same chance to win at random in that. And 1 in 3 chances to win. It's great odds. So you go have some fun, maybe win a little AVAX and have a good time. So it's a global metaverse. It's open for everyone, and we'd like to make it as easy as possible for anyone around the world to participate.
Exactly. So community jump into the Metaverse of BioFi and definitely make it, the great success of this. So all the gamers out there, all those like buy the NFT and get into this Ethos Metaverse.
What we're also finding is that we're finding that a lot more corporate companies want to get a presence within the Ethos Metaverse, whether that's on an education point of view or a marketplace or whatever they want to do. Because as we evolve and as things progress, a hell of a lot more people are going to want to have access within the metaverse, and having the solutions available. We've got real life education. We've got real life use cases within there. So we're going to be switching quite a lot of corporate stuff into it, and also more importantly education. So as this evolves and progresses, and as people become a hell of a lot more familiar with the metaverse, they know that we'll be able to help them within there. Some of the stuff that we're doing in here will blow your mind on the type of graphics we're putting out there and the interaction. And when you look at the standard internet, when you're doing a training session, you're literally only getting choose A, B, C, or D. But within this, training modules that we're designing and helping people with, it's interactive, where you can go and grab a tool, or you can actually fly into this area or open a lock, whatever it is. But whatever the actual requirement is within there, we have that, and that's where that interaction is coming in. So training is definitely driving a huge amount of this business and new revenue and projects for us.
Exactly, Stefan. That is very important, and that brings to the next question to Stefan. So, what role will artificial intelligence play in the integration of biometrics and metaverse in education?
Listen, it's very key. Last week I'd sat down with a university, and I was a guest presenter on their course, and they all wanted to know where the actual functionality was within here, how the AI is going to interact, where the Ethos is there, where the money is to be made within here. And where does the utility come back within here, and why the hell are you guys involved in it? So we get that kind of them questions all the time, and really to I suppose the quickest way to answer to you within here, everything that we're doing with all our products there's a reason for that, whether that's securing or whether that's entering into the metaverse. So can you imagine being able to secure with the AI that we have within our biometrics, getting into a real life training, whether that's flying an airplane, a training course, or whether that's repairing a leak or whatever that actually looks like, having that secured and then being able to deliver the product to people securely and in real time and having a function within there. So it's very, very important as the world goes on. All the machine learning that's happening out there is driving a hell of a lot of new business. But the great thing is, even with our security function, that's all held on device as well. So the key part here is that we're not sharing any of your details. If you're using, if it's on your PC, your MacBook, your iPhone, whatever biometrics you use are always held on your device, and we don't share that information, and we never will with people. So obviously from an AI point of view, and having that secure, being able to drive on from there is very, very, very key for people. So yeah, it's it's a wonderful, fast moving place. It's the next level. It's not all about the gaming. It's not all about buying avatars and dressing them and buying land. There is real life education. There is real life use cases. There will be a lot of shifting from the standard internet to the metaverse as we go on. So we see ourselves as being market leaders here because we are bringing real application, and it is live now at the minute. So.
Absolutely. Like, so what opportunities does the metaverse present for the companies that wanted to provide, engaging and immersive learning experience for students? Over to you, Chris.
The realism in the metaverse, I think, is the thing that's most appealing to people. When they see it first, they're really amazed. They're amazed at, wow, how it looks and how customizable the environment is. So when we look at learning modules, when we look at the metaverse, we see it as an open field. If you look at the types of training that are offered online right now, you can get trained for anything under the sun, right? Whether you want to take Microsoft or Google training to learn how to do development or use their services, or any other type of education. Look at universities. There's plenty of opportunity for them not only to deliver the training, but what they're also interested in is how to make sure that it is the right person taking the class or the right person taking that exam. It's critically important to them to know that Steven's not taking the physics exam for me because, we may have the same haircut, but, Steven knows physics better than I do. And so it'd be easy for him to take that test for me. We need to help them make sure that it's the right person, that it is Chris taking the physics exam or whatever that exam is. And throughout that examination period, they can continue to re-authenticate to make sure that it's the right person. So the metaverse gives that opportunity. One of our current providers in the ecosystem is a gaming company called Cyberly. And one of the things that they have, one of their main product is something called an anti-cheat. They can tell if someone is using software or anything else to help them in a competition versus being a human that's actually doing it. So that's great. But what we're helping them with is the next level security, in that if someone's competing in a nationwide tournament or a global tournament for money, we are working with them to develop that ongoing authentication that without interrupting the gamer, in process, to make sure that it is that the right person competing and not someone else playing on their behalf who they've paid is maybe a more skilled player. So the metaverse offers not only the training, but it also allows us to install levels of authentication and security that you may not get in other places.
Absolutely, that's amazing. Yeah, so like how can the metaverse facilitates hands-on learning experiences in the avatar industry that are difficult to replicate in traditional web browser?
Yeah, look, I mean, the difference, I suppose, with the standard web browser is that it's just not interactive enough. We can also learn from the security issues that everybody has as well within there. And that's obviously where we're coming from, with not just, from the security point of view, from the interaction point of view, just having something that just click A, B, C, D just does not work anymore, and from a training point of view. It's boring. You can guess the algorithm or whatever within there, you can probably guess what it is, but having something that's very interactive is much cooler. It's much easier, and people actually will learn from there. Could you imagine, if you're a paramedic and you need to go through some CPR training again? Doing an A, B, C, and D is just really not interactive enough. But if you have a body down there and you want to actually get right into the actual location of where you need to be, and you're doing your compressions, whatever, that is how interactive we could be. The same way we could teach somebody to drive, but you do a lot of driving theory tests online at the minute. Could you imagine if you could actually bring that a next level and actually have the car physically driving down a road and looking out for the various obstacles and different things within there? So that is where we're going to go within there. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned with the internet. The internet is full of crazy people with loads of security issues, a lot of just replication within there. Imagine going into a metaverse where it's completely designed as you need for everything. It's got a better security within there, and it's more fun, it's more interactive, it's easier to learn off. That's just key. So that is really where it's going to go. So it's tomorrow, as the old saying goes, it's tomorrow's world.
Exactly, that's what user needs, Stefan, definitely. So over to you, Chris. So how are you working together with providers on the Phoenix X1 platform?
That's really interesting, and that's one that people like to ask questions about. The Phoenix X1 is our own proprietary device. It's an Android-based device that has an extra security chip on it that allows people to store their most sensitive information. We look at it this way. It basically has two sides. We call it your public side and your private side, but you can call it whatever you want. The public side is the phone you have today. Use it as that as an example. It's got all your apps, it's got all your phone numbers, all your communications with friends and family. But you can then use your biometrics to switch to the other side of the phone, which has the additional security built in. And that's the place where you can store your most sensitive information, whether it's your seed phrases, your passwords. It could be anything, documents that are very important to you that you want to make sure stay secure. And no one can access them but you, because they're secured by your biometrics. So that our first generation phone is being rebuilt. We're re-engineering that now. It is on our timeline to come out in fourth quarter this year. And our CEO, Brian, was just in Asia on a trip where he was in the factory and he was working with the design team to look at the current version. Current version is going to have a larger battery, 5G capable and so forth, because the other one just needs to be updated. It's a few years old, and a few years old in technology is very old. So we're in that process now, and it has opened up a lot of options for us. We're actually thinking about maybe two devices at this point, because the original theory or the original thinking was to develop that super secure device, update it, and perhaps have it operate as a node device. In other words, it could do crypto mining in the background. And that's still a big part of our plan and what drives a lot of the interest in the device itself. Where we found another opportunity is in our engagement in Africa. There's a lot of SMS still going on out there, and there's a lot of what we would consider lower end phones in use out there just because of the price points. People in Africa may not be able to afford $1,000 or $1,500 device. So what we're investigating very actively right now, since we're so actively engaged in mobile money platforms, is how do we take that device and manufacture it in such a way that we can deliver it at an attractive price in Africa, delivering more security at the same time. So there's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot more that we'll probably be able to talk about in the coming months, but we're now being able to expand that opportunity as well, not only just for us, but for people who really do need additional security at a lower price point.
Exactly. Our community will be waiting for all those new features that you mentioned, and also be waiting for all those new features that you're going to be, implementing in this BioFi. So that brings down to next question to Stefan. So how does, a new community members and providers get involved in the BioFi? How does a new community members?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, we have many channels out there that you can actually access us. You can access us obviously via the usual channels such as Telegram. We've got our Twitter account. We've got, onto our website as well. So just finavant.com or biometricfinancial.org. Our handle on Telegram, I think it's just that Finavant. Am I right? I've just got it wrong there.
It's at Finavant on Twitter, and it's BioFi Community on Telegram.
It was one way or the other.
Exactly, guys. I'm gonna throw you a next question similar to this. I mean,
I have so many screens open with everything here open, and it's like, oh my God, which Twitter is that? Which handle? So yeah, we've got so many community. But reach out to us. It's we're very easy to get.
Okay, so Stefan, let me just give you, a next question. So, what is the strategy for building the strong community, and how is it important, for the role of community for your project?
Yeah, look, community is key. We have a number of users within our Telegram space. They're always active all the time. Brian, our CEO, will be on there. We've got Leona doing a great job managing everybody from there. Brian, our CEO, will be on there. I go on time to time, and Chris is as well. We do see the questions and we do answer them straight back. So, at any stage, feel free to reach out to any of us on the Telegram channel. Twitter is a very, very active space as well for us within there. We've got many, many, many users within there. They're always asking us questions. They're constantly engaged. We're constantly putting content out and sharing within there. More importantly, within the action, the community is very vital for us, but also what's very important is our ecosystem that's constantly growing with different providers, different partnerships. So as we spread our wings around and find new projects, new partnerships globally, we do share that within our community. We do our various updates, whether that's on Twitter or within Telegram. So, very important to make sure that we keep communicating with people in all stages. And I think we're very, very good at that as well, which is brilliant.
That's
something perfect. I'd like to add to that, to the communities, because we love the community. They give us a lot of good ideas. And in fact, we've implemented several of them already. One of the ones I'd like to speak about goes back to the question that Stephen answered about how do people get involved with BioFi. We actually have a referral program in place. If you go to biometricfinancial.org, you'll see on the pages on the top, there's a little link for referrals. So if someone who's watching this today is part of a company or knows of a company that they think would be a good fit with the BioFi ecosystem, just fill out the simple form. It's a few questions, and give us the information on that business, whether it's yours or someone else's, and we'll reach out to them. If they become part of the BioFi ecosystem as a referral, you get a fee. We'll pay you out in BioFi. So it's easy to do, easy for people to get involved with us. And we have a lot of provider conversations on a regular basis. So we love talking to new people to see how they may fit in the ecosystem.
That's great, Chris. So will investors will investor from all around the world will be able to use BioFi token series?
Absolutely, and that's a big focus of ours. We wanted to make sure that BioFi was accessible to everyone. We wanted to make sure that they had the ability to come into the ecosystem. Right now, to come into the rewards ecosystem, you only need one BioFi. So you can come in. If you have one BioFi token, you can come in. You don't need to have a huge amount invested at this point. And you can look at what are the training opportunities, what are the rewards opportunities, how can the metaverse help you? So it's really accessible to everyone, and we keep that in mind when we give opportunities to earn rewards. And as we build programs going forward, we know that people have different income levels, different ability to invest or not, and we want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity, whether they're in the West, whether they're in the US, or Europe, or if they're in Africa or anywhere else. They have the same opportunities to learn and earn as everyone else around the world.
Exactly. I mean, that's amazing. I like the idea how you guys, expanding throughout. And like Chris, you mentioned that there, like the things that is coming to in the future. You told that, there are version of the things that you'll be adding. So this comes down to, last question. So please tell me, like, is there any chance of cryptic wallets to become a hard wallet in the future? Just a quick glance.
That's an interesting question. The Cryptic Wallet is our cryptocurrency wallet. For folks who don't know, it's available both for iOS and for Android. It is non-custodial, it's decentralized. So, when you are in the Cryptic Wallet and you use it, you own those tokens, you keep control of them. No one else has them, like on a centralized exchange. Cryptic, it's an interesting question whether we can make that a cold storage wallet or a hard wallet. What I will say is that we want that ability built into the next version of the Phoenix X1. That's the advantage of an extra security chip gives us, and the ability to secure the two sides of the phone separately with our biometric authentication. Our plan is to make that device a cold storage device for your crypto.
That's great. That's great. I mean, that was a lovely time with you guys. I mean, we are wishing you best for your projects. We can wrap this MA session, but before we end up, I would like to, I just ask you some questions with Chris and Stefan. So, do you have any questions with our community and anything you would like to share?
I would encourage everyone to get involved one way or another. If you have some interest in BioFi, or if you just want to learn more, come into our channels, come into Twitter at Finavant, or come into Telegram, BioFi community. And not only will you get the opportunity to interact with us, we'll respond directly to you. The community is great. We have so many people who like the project and are supporters and believe in it. And they are very welcoming. They'll teach you anything you need to know. They'll answer any questions. They'll direct you to where you can find information if you need it. The white paper and all that is all available on our website. So that stuff is easy. But sometimes it's you just have a question you want to ask, and the community is really good at doing that. So come on in. It's a very welcoming place.
Exactly, guys. So, community, please jump into BioFi. Let's make this project the next success story of the LATOKEN. Whenever you have any questions, it's a great community. Just go, jump, buy this project, and let's make this, the next success story of the LATOKEN. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Chris, for joining the.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Exactly. See you guys.